Happy Monday, everyone. Here I am in my Monday happy place, my closet. I have gotten a lot of messages and requests of people asking to be guests in my closet, and I am totally all about it. I love that idea because I feel like you guys really seem to enjoy when I had Marnie on. The struggle is that it's 8:30 at night and so many people have kids at home. Mine is being put to bed right now, and so I know it's difficult to have guests at that time, but I'm open to it, you guys. If there are specific people besides my mother, because my mom will never ever be on the road that late. She's like the youngest early bird you'll ever meet and has to be like in bed in her um, place by like 7 o'clock, and that's like midnight to her. So she will never be in my closet this late. But if there are other people that you'd like me to have as guests that you've heard me either talk about or just random people, I'm not shy. I'm open to it. You just have to follow my rules of not being super loud, so that my baby goes to bed in the other room and then it's good. So we have some fun stuff to talk about tonight. I know my last Monday was very short. I was just exhausted and I couldn't deal anymore. I have a little bit more energy now, not much, because I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning taking my older daughter to her school for a field trip, which she gets back at 11:30 at night. So like that's like the worst thing that could happen, right? As a parent, you have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get your kids somewhere at 5, but then you don't even get to go to bed early because you have to pick them up again at 11:30. So hopefully she had a good time. But tonight I figured I'd switch things up a little bit. I don't really have stuff that I can look around and pull out in my closet. So I'm going to talk about some of my favorite things, my favorite products. None of them are, they're all things that I actually use. So I'm excited I'm sure I'll get some mail from people wanting to send me other things, but because everyone likes their stuff. But here, I'm going to show you some of my favorite things. But first, I want to talk about some teachable moments as a parent. If you can't already tell, my parenting style is pretty lax with a lot of things. I try, my whole mantra is the same mantra a lot of moms that I know follow, which is, pick and choose your battles. I'm not super strict about a lot of things. My husband would say I'm not strict enough about anything. Hi, Dale. You'll like this story. I'm going to tell a story about Ava. So I've noticed in the 10 years that I've been a parent, because my oldest daughter turned 10 a couple days ago, and it's messing with my mind because I can't even believe I have a 10-year-old. But she is very strong-willed, very, very she's like a badass. And right now it's a pain in the ass because as her mother, I'm like constantly, the attitude is just crazy, and the preteen stuff that's going on, I just can't deal with any of it. It's happening earlier than I thought. But she's very strong-willed and she's very, very set on and persistent, like ridiculously persistent. Hi, Carol. So I've learned with her that when I want things to go a certain way, I have lost control of the ship. It doesn't always go the way I want it to go. But there's still teachable moments if I let her do things that maybe other parents would not even indulge from their kids. It ends up actually, this is really annoying me. I'm looking and seeing like this is crooked. I'm learning there's things that I've let her do that have actually worked to my benefit because then she's over it. For example, a few years ago, and if we are friends personally, you will know this story because the text messages and pictures that were going around were crazy. But a couple years ago, she told me she wanted bangs. I don't want to ever stop my kids from like self-expression, whether it's clothing or hairstyles or whatever it was, but I'm also not a monster. And I knew exactly what would happen if she got bangs, because we are Jewish girls with Jewish hair and we don't do well with bangs. We just don't. I'm going to put it out there. So I told her that as her mother, I couldn't allow it. I knew she was going to regret it. She was going to make both of us crazy because we'd have to spend like way too much time in the morning slicking things back and tucking things in, and I just don't have it in me. My patience reserve for that kind of stuff is like, it's like here. I can't take it. So I thought it would be genius to get her clip-in bangs. So I think I went to Sally Beauty Supply. I don't know. I went to some beauty supply place and I got her an actual pair of clip-in bangs that were so horrifying. They looked like a toupee, like a hair piece that would just be laying around. I would walk in the bathroom, they're laying on the counter, it would be on the dining room table. It would like just show up in random places and it was so ugly. So she would clip those suckers in and she looked so ridiculous. I mean, she's adorable and perfect no matter what, but she looked like she was wearing fake bangs. But the best part about it was that I think this, I don't even remember how long this fad went on. I want to say a couple of months. It was a long one. But she finally was like, you know what? I don't like these anymore. You're right, mom. As a parent, especially shout out to all of the girl moms out there. When your daughter looks you in the eye and tells you you're right, you want to get like a video camera out and record it, because those moments do not happen a lot. So that's just the kind of personality I'm dealing with. I know I can't talk her out of something, so I try and find a way to indulge it in a way that will not make both of us insane, but will also create an opportunity to show her that I'm right. Does that make sense? I nailed it on the bangs. So now we had our second wave of that whole situation. I cannot even believe how early girls do a lot of the things that, like the rites of passage, shaving your legs, whatever, all those things are so much earlier now. And I wasn't prepared for any of it, none of it. So she turned 10, as I said, a couple days ago. But a couple years ago, I want to say she was in the end of second grade, beginning of third grade, she begged me for acrylic nails. And I was like, you are out of your mind. I'm not getting you acrylic nails. I am 41 years old and I've never had acrylic nails in my life. You're not getting acrylic nails. You are my precious little angel, and I'm not putting those chemicals and gross glue and all that stuff on your body. It's not happening. I fought it and fought it and fought it. And the reason she was asking, just to be clear, it's not like she saw it out of nowhere. There were actually girls in her class who had them. So thanks a lot, moms, to those who put the girls in acrylic nails and made me look like the bad mom. I'm only half kidding. She wanted them and she was persistent. I kept saying no. I made it through the whole year. She kept asking. The answer was no. She did it again last year and I kept saying no. So this year she said, Mom, I'm turning 10. It's a special birthday. It's double digits. Can I please, please, please get acrylic nails? So I called her dad and we had a conversation about it. And I was like, what do you think? And he was like, it's not like my favorite thing that I'd like to be happening right now, but I kind of feel like we should just let it happen, be a one-time thing, and we won't do it again. It's for her birthday. It's a special occasion, whatever. So took her to Venetian Nails by my house. And I said to the guy specifically, I said, do me a favor. I said, please don't make them super long. I know the whole point of her getting acrylic nails is she wants them to be like over the tip of her nail. I remember, any woman who is on here right now who's watching, I'm sure that you can remember the moment where your nails started to grow by themselves, or you put the press on nails and you could do this, like on every table, and it was like you like lived for it. So I get it. I understand the psychology behind it. So I said, can you please not make them super long? I really would like them to be on the shorter side. And he said, no problem, or I thought he did. And apparently he winked at her when I walked away and moved the clipper up to make them longer. Now I'm sitting like 2 chairs away getting a manicure myself, because I figure YOLO, why not? She's sitting getting acrylic nails. I'm going to get my nails done regularly. And she finishes and she shows me them, and I love this child with every fiber of my body, and I can see she's so happy with the nails, but they were like what you would see in like an old school Supersonic video. Remember Supersonic, the rap duo? That's like what they look like. I'll give you the same example I've been using over the past few days with my friends and family. She started to put silver rings like Liberace on like her thumb and her pointer. She doesn't ever wear rings, but now she's got these nails and she wants to zhuzh it up a bit. So she puts rings on, and she's so adorable. I can't stand it, but I'm looking at these long bright white nails with rings, and she looked like a 9-year-old, 10-year-old trapped in the body of a Atlantic City, not even Vegas, Atlantic City lounge singer. I don't even know if there's lounges in Atlantic City, so don't like start correcting me and checking the historical accuracy of that. I'm trying to make an analogy that I think is funny. She looks like an Atlantic City lounge singer, like she should have a rose in her mouth laying on top of a piano with these giant white nails. But here's what happened. She's had them for a week, a little over a week. On day 3 or 4, she was like, Mom, I'm not going to take these off because I know that I can't like pull them off. We have to soak them and everything, but I don't think I want acrylic nails anymore. So I realize it might be super unorthodox to let a kid get the acrylic nails for them to realize they don't want them, and especially when it might backfire. But I gave into it. I followed my gut. I let her do it, even though I really didn't want to. And now she's over it. She doesn't want them anymore. And I'll never forget, my mom used to say to me growing up all the time that if you make things too taboo for your kids, or you obviously grew up in a very liberal house, we have very open conversations, my family is very close, probably too close, we're all up in each other's shit all the time. But my mom used to say to me all the time, if you make things so rigid and off limits to your kids, a lot of kids, not all, but a lot of kids want to do those things even more. So if you can kind of like pick and choose those battles and let them have a little bit of flexibility, it works wonders. And I'll tell you, she did that with me growing up. I never had a curfew. Um, but I also wasn't being an asshole and coming in at, 4 o'clock in the morning. And I was very respectful and understanding of the fact that my parents were very, very lax with me. So if I was going out, as a teenager on a Saturday night with my friends, and I knew they kind of expected me home around the same time every weekend, if it was running a little later, I always called, always, and just said, is it okay that I stay out a little bit longer? And I think that because we had those open lines of communication, it was like they didn't worry. They didn't I wasn't a bad kid. I was, hanging out with good people. I made good choices. I still had fun. I still did things a lot of teenagers do, but they never were super strict about things that, I think all kids kind of like just experience throughout their life. Stephanie, hey, I love the lesson. If there's no harm, I allow a lot to teach a lesson. Listen, everyone has their limits. I'm not suggesting by any means that if your kid is nagging you for, something that you're like very strongly against, that you should give into it, but it did work. She sees that I let her do it. Maybe she'll ask again next year or the year after. Who knows? The conversation's probably not over, but she got them. She saw that we let her get them, and now she's not into them anymore. And the same thing happened with the bangs. I feel like the more you fight things, the more they think, oh, my parents don't want me to do this. There must be a reason. And so they fight even harder. And I will tell you that I had many friends whose parents were the polar opposite of mine growing up. And those were the kids that when they went away to college, or if they went on like a college visit or just away with friends on spring break, whatever it was, they were the ones that were out of control crazy, the ones that got the most wasted, the ones that were trying every drug in the book. Like those were the strict parents are the ones who produces the kids that were just raging to like get out and do everything all at once. So I'm no expert, and I'm certainly not like, I'm sure there are many people watching this who have children a lot older. I'm now officially in the decade club, which again is crazy, but I do feel like that is true. I think that the more strict you are with your kids around a lot of stuff, the more they're going to rebel against it. And so you have to be very, very careful and still be a parent. My daughter knows. I always say to her, like, as close as we are and as lax as I am, I'm not her friend, I'm her mother. And ultimately I'm in charge. I say that more for myself, so I believe it, because I know it's not true. Anyway, so my cousin Karen is on. Karen, I was just telling the story about Ava's acrylic nails that we let her get for her birthday, and saying that it was a teachable moment because I picked and chose that battle and let her get them, and now she's not into them anymore. So it actually worked in my favor. I'm all about it. I'm all about the teachable moments. Oh, Jason Sobel's here while he's putting our baby to bed because he has the new Apple earpod things, and he can actually like function without being in a silent room while she falls asleep, because we have one of those babies that won't go into the crib awake. We have to actually rock her. By we, I mean him, because she won't go to sleep with me. She just wants to party constantly. So those are the teachable moments, the acrylic nails and the clip-in bangs. So parents, here's my advice to you. If you have something your kid is making you crazy about, asking about, whether it's something, a physical change, whatever it is, maybe consider letting them do it. And you might be surprised it might backfire, and they either won't even want to go there, or they'll try it and then be over it. Let them get it out of their system. It's fine. The other thing that she keeps asking me for, which I'm nowhere near ready to do at all, especially because I know what it will result in. She's begging for some kind of like, not highlights, but like dye, but the kind that would require bleaching your hair and like putting color in, and I'm not doing that because her hair is so beautiful. But she does not stop about it. So I'm sure that's like the next thing coming down the pike, where she's going to keep begging and begging and begging and wear me down. But hopefully I have much more time on that. Karen, she was so excited for 5 minutes. I know she was really excited about it. So that's what I want to tell you about teachable moments. And I'm curious if you guys have any things that you swore, like maybe in the back of your head before you had kids, or even as your kids were really little, that you said, I will never do this. I will never do that. I want to know if there's anything you said you would never do, and then now cut to present time that you've done. I'm curious. So chime in. I see a bunch of people here. Chime in if that has happened to you, or if you have any examples. Hi, Stacy. All right, so I want to talk about some of my favorite things because you guys have been doing such a good job in getting me to get rid of stuff in my closet. So I don't really have a ton of like junk anymore. I have little things I can probably go through that you'd think is ridiculous. But I don't know that I feel like pulling stuff down. So I want to go through some of my favorite things. And these are products I actually use that I love and I'm excited about them. So I want you to be a part of them. All right, let's talk about makeup for a second. I hate wearing makeup. I like how it looks when it's on. I feel like an adult. It's great. Oh, wait, hold on. Carol, my older daughter was dying to get her belly button pierced when she was, I think, 15. I get it might be no big deal, but I wasn't having it. I said she could go get it done when she could drive, so she could drive herself to the doctors when it got infected, and I stuck to it. Good for you. I never, you know, want to hear something funny? I never asked to do that. I never wanted to get a tattoo. I never wanted to get a piercing. Those are things that never were on my radar. I asked for a million other things, but I never asked for those things. And I wonder how I mean, I don't have those things, so it'd be easy for me if my child wanted them to make a case since I didn't do them. You guys, I'm sorry that I'm fidgeting. This is like annoying me looking in the screen and seeing everything all cockeyed and out of place. But I always wonder, like parents who have tattoos and parents who have piercings, if your child asks for those things and they're at the age where you're not ready to have them explore it, other than the whole I'm your parent and it doesn't really matter, I make the rules, how do you justify that to them when it's something that you've done? I'm always curious about that. And I think about it because as my kids get older, they're going to ask questions about a lot of life circumstances. And I've made it a point to be very honest with my kids. Like if they ask questions, I will give them the most age appropriate, honest answer I can. But I always think down the road as they get older, those questions are going to get more complicated. And there's definitely things they're going to ask about that I've done in my life. And I don't want to lie, but how do you do it in a way where it's more of a lesson and less of in the back of their head, they see it as permission for them to do it. So the moms out there, Carol, you're a really good person to ask because you have older kids. I want to know what you think about that and how you handle that. All right. So makeup. I am very bad at makeup. But sometimes, like if I'm running out the door to go somewhere and I don't really feel like doing real makeup, like foundation and all that stuff, I only do that if I have like a dinner or an event or whatever. So if I need like day makeup, I have a little hack. It's not mine. I didn't invent it, but I like the specific products. I take whatever moisturizer I'm using, which right now I'm using Philosophy Miracle Worker, which I like a lot. But I take a little bit of my moisturizer and then I take this Miracle product, which I'm obsessed with, and I mix them together and like a tiny bit of this and basically like evens out my whole face so I don't look completely just like the bus driver from South Park. As my husband likes to say, my hair is all crazy in the morning when I wake up. So I am obsessed with that. This is one of my favorites. I don't even know who turned me on to it, but I love it. It's in my medicine cabinet all the time. That's number one. This is something new that I just found. I went and had my makeup done a while back when my friend Sherry, who I'm going to talk about in a second, recommended a foundation from YSL. And it was not cheap, but it is the best foundation I've ever used in my life. And my skin is like super, super dry. So she at the makeup counter had put on this oil, which of course I loved. And it was, I think like $140. And I was like, I will justify spending a lot of money on things, but I'm not doing that. But it was rose water and some other combination. So I was in Trader Joe's the other day and I found this little gem and I am so obsessed with it. I spray it on my face like it is going out of style. I just bought this bottle like a couple days ago and this is what's going on. I probably overuse it. I don't know if you guys use this, but I'm obsessed with it. It's like it is my new favorite thing that I found. Oh, hold on. Stephanie, I wanted my belly button pierced in high school and my parents wouldn't let me. Within the first year of college, I had a tattoo, belly button ring, and tongue ring. LOL. I'd let our daughter pierce her belly button. As far as tattoos, I'd rather they're more mature in what they choose, and I'll tell them that. I'd let her when she's in high school. She's 12 now, so not quite yet. So I agree with you, Stephanie. Here's my thing about tattoos. I am not anti-tattoo. I have seen tattoos that are unbelievable and amazing. And throughout my life, there have been times where I've thought, oh, maybe I'll get a tattoo. My reason for never doing it was there's not anything that I think that I would want on my body forever. And that's such a big commitment. And I agree with you. I think that when your kids are younger and they start talking about that stuff, whether they're in high school or college, they're going to put something in their body they may change their minds about. And so I agree with you 100%. But if someone wants a tattoo and they're older, get a tattoo. I don't care. I just always wonder how I would handle it if I had one and I was telling my kid no. But I also like the point that you said you asked your parents for a belly button ring. They said no. So the minute you left the house, you did everything. And that's the point that I'm making. If you put a tight leash on your kids, they will rage so hard. And, you have to pick and choose the things that you're willing to give into. And I think the things that don't harm other people are just them experimenting with self-expression, whether it's makeup or piercing, whatever it is. I'm going to go on the record of saying don't be so quick to shoot it down, because you never know. I mean, clip-on bangs and acrylic nails, I feel like I'm 2 for 2 right now. Allison, I have 3 teenagers. I try not to talk in absolutes. I'm definitely more laid back with my third than I was with my first or second. It's also important to parent depending on the personality of your child. 100% agree. And I think it's really funny, and everyone I think feels the same way when you have multiple kids. Your first kid is definitely the one most people are most uptight about. You have so many questions, you're thrown into the trenches, it's the first time you've done it, and there's all those jokes and there's memes and you see all these things about first kid versus second versus third. So I'm not surprised you're more laid back with your third. I'm much more laid back with Sienna. She eats Cheerios off the floor in my house. Like I mean, with Ava, I would have called the pediatrician probably and freaked out that she ate a Cheerio off the floor. So I agree with you. All right, moving on. This is something that I'm super excited about, and I think it's working, but we'll see. In the interest of full disclosure, I write the content for this company's blog, but this has nothing to do with the products. I just write their content, but they send me stuff every once in a while, and so I have grays just in this area. And if Sam's comes on soon, she'll attest to that. But I have some grays that I used to call highlights, but they're not highlights, they're grays. I'm owning it. And, I dye my hair. I put a base color and highlights and whatever when I have the time to get there. So this company, Fido, which I'm obsessed with, it's all natural, botanical, plant-based. So if you're into that thing and you don't want to use chemicals, sometimes I like chemicals, I'm not going to lie. This is one of their newest products, and it's supposed to be an anti-gray treatment, and you basically spray it on. I think it's like 8 sprays or something. I don't know. I need my readers to see directions and I don't feel like getting them. I should keep a pair in the closet for exact instances like this, but I can't do it. But this stuff you spray on, and within a couple of months, you're supposed to see not only decreased grays, but apparently it reinvigorates your hair with your natural pigment, so it starts to grow back actually in the color that it's meant to grow back in, which is pretty amazing. So I definitely see a decrease in the amount that I've been using, but this stuff is amazing if anyone is interested. And if you have questions about any of these things, then you can shoot me a message or comment and I'll let you know. But this is for anti-gray stuff and it's amazing. Okay, what else do I have in here? Oh, all right. So I'm sorry, I'm going to talk about girl things. So if you're a guy, which is very rare, except for Jason, and he's my husband, so he won't care if he's even still watching. Haley, what? This can't be real. About the gray thing, I mean, I've been using it and my grays have definitely decreased. I mean, I'm going to get brave. I don't know if you can see, but I usually get them all like right in this area, and there's only a couple. I see one right there that I want to pull out. So it's working so far. I mean, we'll see long term what happens, but it took them like 8 years, 7 or 8 years of clinicals and research and all kinds of stuff to perfect it, and it's all natural. And so we'll see. To be determined. Here, I'll show you, Haley. This is what it is, so that I know you're interested. The company is called Fido. If you go to fido.com, you'll see it, and it's not expensive at all. And I think they carry stuff like that in a lot of beauty supplies. I don't know if they have that particular product because it's new, but it's worth a try, especially for the price. It's not bad. All right, so periods suck, right? Getting your period sucks. After you have kids, getting your period sucks. Can I post a link to the anti-gray stuff? Yes, absolutely. Karen must be genetic. My gray is in the same spot. We have a lot of things that are generic that are annoying. All right, so I noticed, and I want you guys to let me know if you experience this also. After I had kids and after I stopped breastfeeding and whatever it was that screws up your entire body and it's never the same, the PMS situation that happens before I get my period is like, I am like Jekyll and Hyde. I literally I am so irritable. I'm so angry. Jason knows exactly what's happening the second there's like a tone in my, I mean, like it is like clockwork, and it's bad. And I never had that until after I had children. Thanks, kids. So my best friend Marnie that was on, her other best friend Nuri, who we talked about, is very into like natural remedies of all sorts. And so she's a really good resource, because that is like not my, I like medication and, you know, very black and white things. Like I don't know enough about the natural side of things. So like unless someone physically gives me a link somewhere or tells me to do something, I can't, it's too overwhelming for me. So she swears by this evening primrose oil, swears by it, and says if you take it regularly, you take a pill a day, this one you take a pill a day, every day for a couple of months, that those symptoms dissipate. And I have to tell you, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that it's totally gone, because it still happens, but it's definitely made a difference. And I'm wondering if the longer I take it, that will like build and it will become better. And maybe it's psychosomatic. Who knows what it is? All I know is I call these my don't be a bitch pills. And so we'll see what happens, but that's the honest truth about that. I am not a good you don't want to be around me when that happens. I'm very upset with everybody. I hate everybody, and it's not a good situation. And so I'm willing to try these evening primrose oil pills, and I have been. And so far, there has been a noticeable difference. I don't know if Jason notices it. He'd probably be like, you're crazy, you're exactly the same, but I feel a little bit less on edge. What else? Perfume. So I am like a creature of habit. I am that person who will find a perfume and wear the shit out of it for 10 years and refuse to switch. And then I'll smell something on someone, and then that's like the only thing that makes me change. But I got into all the Bond perfumes, which is so dangerous to get into because they're so expensive that it's painful, and it makes me so mad. Like, why do you have to charge so much? Why? I get it. Your things are amazing, but I can't constantly buy a new perfume every time they run out. But before I got married, for my wedding day, Jason and I each bought each other Bond perfumes, and this is the one that I bought. This is my original one that I had. It smells so good, and I thought I liked some other ones better, and I think this one's called Success. I can't remember because it's not on the bottle, but I think yes, Success, right there. This is my favorite, and I have a couple other ones that I've amassed over the years, and for some reason, this one, every single time I wear it, I get compliments on it. So if you're looking for a new perfume, they have like, I don't even know, dozens and dozens and dozens of choices, but this is my absolute favorite, Success by Bond. All right, 2 more things I'm going to show you. My friend Sherry, About Face by Sherry is her page. She does all things makeup. She's as Long Island as it gets, and she is fantastic. And she like knows everything about the hottest products, the newest products, and how to like take your makeup down or up or whatever. And she's just really, really good. She is so generous and amazing. And she just sent this to me. This is a new palette. It's called New Nude. I'll hold it up for you. But these are so pretty. When I open these, I get really overwhelmed because I never know what I'm supposed to use. And I'm looking at some of them like, oh, I would never wear that one, but I feel like I need to experiment a little bit. But look how pretty these are. They're all different shades. The glitter ones you can wear to a rave, you know, because I do that all the time. I'm just kidding. I'm not. You can probably, I'm sure there's a way, especially with the holidays, to play around with those. But I have a really hard time with eyeshadow. And so I love things like this. Otherwise, I have 50 million individual ones that I'm digging through. And so she just sent me this. So Sherry, thank you. I can't wait to try it. But now you're going to have to give me like a whole tutorial on what I'm supposed to do, because I don't even know where to begin with this. And what will end up happening is I'll use one of them so much, it will run out, and then I won't have gotten to mix things together because I'm just bad at it. So you'll have to tell me that, how to use it. All right. What time is it? We're in good shape. I cannot believe I have to stay up until 11:30 at night to go get my kid from a field trip. I'm so tired. Megan, so my doctor told me using evening primrose oil to strengthen my cervix, help dilate, and whatever else. And I did it 3 days and went into labor. Get out. Had no tearing. Sorry, men. Listen, it's partially their fault that the tearing happens anyway. We're having their babies, so don't apologize. And needed no Pitocin or anything. Super easy labor. It's magic. Really? So do you take it every day? Like, do you take 1 pill a day? Is there a brand that you like? Because I just bought the one from Whole Foods, but like, you're making me feel much more validated that maybe it's not, maybe I am really feeling something. And now I'm starting to get nervous that I don't have enough left. Oh no, I have plenty. So I want to know if there's one that you like specifically. This is just, what is this? 500 milligrams cold press evening primrose oil from Whole Foods. But that makes me so happy to hear. So that's interesting because it wasn't, a doctor has never mentioned it to me. It was mentioned by a friend who's into all of that. But I think you might be right. I think it might be magic. All right. Let's unbox some shit. How about that? So I've been doing for a while, I've been what they call an RB It Girl for Roxbox, where they send me, well, they don't send me, I'm allowed to pick what I want to kind of experiment with different jewelry to be able to show you guys to see if it's something you'd want to do. And I love this because I'm so bad at accessorizing. Like I end up having like a favorite necklace or bracelet or something, and I wear it till it's like falling apart because I just am not good at picking other things. And so with this, I decided I was going to try and step out my comfort zone a little bit and pick things that I wouldn't normally pick. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. The company is Roxbox, and they're linked in this post if you want to check them out. And if you use the code, and I'll update it, I realize I didn't put it in there. If you use the code WHINE and CHEEZ XOXO, you will get your first month free. And it's actually super reasonable. It's $21 a month, but that $21 goes towards any purchases that you make. So it works out really well, and it's nice because the stuff gets delivered to your door. So I just got my latest batch, and I figured I would open it with you guys because I end up posting it online anyway to get feedback to see if there's things you guys think I should keep or send back. And so I'll just do it real time. Megan says, but I used that same one you gave and they told me not to take it until 37 weeks. So that's interesting. Okay. I'm going to keep taking it. I'm going to see what happens. All right, let's see what this first bad boy is. This is kind of like an inside joke with my girlfriend, so it won't mean anything to you, but this is, I think, Kate Spade. Yes, this is Kate Spade, and it is a pendant, and it is a pretzel with little stones in it. And let's see, this, and they have all different price points. They have things that are like 20 bucks. They have things that are like $100 something. So, and you get to preview what you're going to get and you can swap things out. So this is $58. And so what would happen is if you had a membership, you're paying $21. So that $21 would go towards the 58 and then you would just owe the difference. So let me know if you guys think this is cute or not. I'm curious. Okay. That's number one. Number two. Let's see. I love bracelets. That's like my safe thing that I feel like I can experiment with and not commit. I hate taking my necklace off because I love my necklace. Where did it go? Okay, this is an Elizabeth Stone enamel bracelet in pink ombre. This is very pretty, but I don't know if I would actually get enough wear out of it. Okay. So this is the bracelet. And I know it's hard because the light is tough, but there's pink stones in it and then like a little enamel piece. And it's got one of those sliders that I don't really know how you're supposed to do yourself, but there we go. It's got the sliders, which I guess are the new way to do these bracelets now. I'm kind of seeing that everywhere. So that is $75. And that is Elizabeth Stone. So let me know if you guys like that. And then let's see what the last thing that I got is. And what I love too is they're super organized. So they send you like a little, I'm reading from this little thing that tells you everything you got, the prices. The website is super easy to use. And this is the most expensive one in the box. This is a Kate Spade lariat necklace. And I can't decide if I like it or not, but it's really nice quality. But apparently people wear these things in a different, I saw the model wearing it. Let me see if this is the way to do it. Hold on. Watch, with my luck, I'll break it. Okay. All right, so you can wear it like this, where it hangs, and you have those pieces like that. And I also saw someone wearing it where they did it like a choker and then turned it around. I hope I'm doing this right. And did it like that. which I think would be really pretty. I'm not doing it any favors right now with my shirt falling off my body and the other necklace on, but that's the Kate Spade necklace. So tell me if you guys think that I should keep any of these things or if you like any of them. Carol says, unless you love pretzels or work at Auntie Anne's, send it back. I know it's hard to put into words. I do love pretzels, but not enough to wear a necklace made out of them. This is very pretty though. So I'm thinking this, I might consider this because it's different. So you guys tell me your thoughts. Tell me what you think. The Kate Spade necklace, the Kate Spade pretzel is probably going back, or the enamel bracelet. And again, if you guys are interested in testing it out, just go to the Rocksbox site, and they're linked here. And then when you go to checkout, you should be able to use the discount code WHINE and CHEEZ. It's XOXO, and you'll get a month free. And there's no, it's not one of those annoying, you know how sometimes you join these like boxes or membership things, and it's like the mafia, you're in and they won't let you out, and it's impossible. This is super, super easy. You can cancel it, I believe, at any time. I'm not exactly sure, but I know that it's a very easy process. Karen, you like the bracelet. I like the bracelet too, but I don't know that I want to keep the bracelet for $75 and the necklace for $88. And I think if I have to pick, I'd pick the bracelet with the leaves hanging. I thought it was pretty. Okay. Haley, definitely no on the pretzel. I know, it was more of a goof. It's, you know, it's interesting. Kate Spade has some stuff that is out there. She has things, and I wonder, like, you have to like have a commitment to these things. Like, she has this whole line of like flamingo stuff and bee stuff and all these animals, and like it looks super cute, but I don't know that I would ever wear it. All right, so that's what I have as far as my unboxing. I showed you guys all my favorite products. I will put in there the link to the anti-gray stuff. I'll put it in the comments. Stephanie, I know you wanted it, and Haley, you were asking about it, so I will put it in here as soon as we get off the show. And then I think that was it. I do want you guys, a couple things I want to mention. Thank you, everyone who's been reaching out to me and telling me that you're voting for me for the best parenting blogger for the South Florida Bloggers Union. I so appreciate it. It's so nice to hear those things, and I appreciate the support. There have been some questions about how long you can vote. It's still open through November, and you can literally vote a bazillion times a day. Not that you're going to sit there and vote for me a bazillion times a day, but I'm just saying there's no limit, and there's no, I think it goes through November and then it goes to semifinals, if I'm correct. Okay. So the other thing I want to mention is on November 30th at 8 o'clock, I'm going to be a guest on Facebook Live with one of my favorite people, one of my newest friends, Amy, the creator and owner of the Mother of All Baby Showers, the event that I talked about, that I spoke at a while back. We are doing a virtual online party where we're going to go through some incredible kid and baby products. There's going to be a bunch of giveaways. It's going to be right after Thanksgiving, but right before the holidays. So it's a really good time to kind of see what's out there. And oh, Amy, I'm just talking about you. It's a really good time to see what's out there, if there are things that you want to purchase for the holidays, or there might be some deals and stuff. So join us at 8 o'clock on November 30th. Amy and I have a good time together. We are a good time. So tune in, 8 o'clock. It will be live. Going through all these products, doing giveaways, talking about all things Moabs, which if you guys should check out the Moabs website, because she does them in many, many cities. And if you don't live in Florida, you may get the chance to experience it in another city. And it's a really, really great event. I had a ball. And now I'm like a Moab super fan. So definitely tune in, 8 o'clock on November 30th. I'll post as we get closer to remind you, but I just wanted to make sure I mentioned it tonight. Amy, we're gonna bring the fun, the education, and possibly the tipsy. Possibly. That means I'm gonna have to Uber home. It's a good thing you live local. All right, guys, I think that's it for this Monday. Now I'm gonna figure out how for the next 2.5 hours I'm gonna stay awake to go pick up my kid at school. She went to St. Augustine for the day on a very educational field trip, and I'm sure she's going to be an exhausted mess, but she'll have her gorgeous acrylic nails. So it'll be interesting to see how this pickup goes. But thank you guys, as always, for joining me on these Mondays. I love them so, so much. And that's it. And thank you guys for all of your advice, too. about all the parenting stuff. And definitely, even if you watch this on the replay, if you have parenting stories of things that you kind of bit the bullet and gave in and let your kid do, even though you really didn't want to, and it worked in your favor, or even if it went the total polar opposite and it backfired, I want to hear about them, because your choices, you know, I'm curious how your choices affected your kids' behavior. I'm always curious about those things. You guys have a great Monday night and a great rest of your week, and I will see you guys all next week. Bye.